As a part of music and music education, today let us know some particulars about different musical instruments of South India. Mainly instruments are divided into three categories: stringed instruments, wind instruments and percussion instruments. Violin, veena, 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀, these kind of instruments comes under category of stringed instruments. Wind instruments contains flute, 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗚𝗏, and percussion instruments contains mridangam, ghatam, kanjira and some more instruments. Now let us go into some particulars of different musical instruments, and we have to first know some points about flute. This flute is a wind instrument and it is aerophone or reedless wind instrument. We can observe reeds in veena and 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀 and other instruments, which comes under the stringed instruments category. But the flute, it is called as a wind instrument and it is aerophone and it is a reedless wind instrument. The flute produces sound from the airflow of air across. Musician who plays flute, they are called as flautist. A number of flutes firstly found in Germany around 35,000 years ago, and the word flute first entered into English language as flaught, and the first flute was found in Slovenia with 2 to 4 holes. Carnatic music flute contains 8 holes and it is called as murali or venvu, or in Hindustani it is known as basuri. This venvu and murali is played for Carnatic music concerts, dance concerts and also solo performances, and nowadays it is also used in fusion concerts along with other instruments. And this flute instrument is also used in Western music too. These flutes are made up of bamboo, and we can find Chinese and Japanese flutes too. Chinese flute contains 6 to 11 holes and it's widely used in, this flute can widely used in Carnatic, Hindustani and Western music too. Ancient flutes were made up of wood, stone, clay and also with bamboo, and now modern flutes are made up of silver, gold and platinum. In some places these clay flutes are played very well, in other countries too. Now let us enter into the other musical instrument, that is 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀. This 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀 is known as chitraveena or vichitraveena. It is 21 strings with fretless lot instrument up to century. If we compare this with the normal veena, the veena have frets and this 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀 does not have any frets for playing the swaras. This 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀 has 6 main strings used for melody forms and 3 drone strings to show the thala and 11 sympathetic strings for low octave to high pitch. And one of the most popular solo instrument in Carnatic music is 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗀. Nowadays it is also performed as a solo instrument for many concerts in India and also abroad. Now let us move to another musical instrument, that is 𝗓𝗏𝗧. 𝗓𝗏𝗧 is a double reed wind instrument. We have to flow air into it and then the swaras comes out of the 𝗓𝗏𝗧. It is a traditional instrument played in South India. Regularly it is used in marriages and other functions. This 𝗓𝗏𝗧 is the world's loudest non-brass acoustics instrument. 𝗓𝗏𝗧 is considered as the loudest instrument in worldwide, and it is very similar to North Indian 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 instrument. It is a longer hardwood body and a large flaring bell made out of wood. It is played in wedding and other happy ceremonies. It is called as Mangalavadya in South India. Mainly there are 3 parts of 𝗓𝗏𝗧, that is metal staple, metallic cylinder, and it has a mouthpiece made of reeds which produces different swaras in 𝗓𝗏𝗧. and it has a small ivory needle with it. Nadaswaram has a range of 2.5 octaves. It is made of bamboo, sandalwood, copper, brass and ivory. And now let us move some particulars about 𝗧𝗦𝗍. It is another musical instrument of North India. 𝗧𝗧𝗍 is a double reed wind instrument. It is similar to South Indian Nadaswaram instrument. It consists of 6 to 9 holes and it has a range of 2 octaves. It is played in North Indian traditional functions. Now let us move some particulars of another instrument of North India, that is clarinet. It belongs to wood wind instrument. It has a single reed mouthpiece and clarinet has the largest range of pitch. It is made of combining wood, plastic, hard rubber, metal, resin and also ivory. The place of origin for clarinet was in Germany in 1800. It has a single reed with a cylindrical mouthpiece. And this instrument is played in solo musical concerts in India and also nowadays it is used in fusion concerts in worldwide. 𝗂𝗽𝗱𝗁𝗺, he has adopted this western clarinet into Carnatic style and he has played many Carnatic compositions on this instrument. Now let us know some particulars about another instrument, that is dolu. Dolu is a barrel shaped drum played in South India in weddings, temples, folk, Carnatic music, concerts. It is accompanied for Nadaswaram in the functions. Right layer with buffalo skin and left with goat skin, and it is players wear thumb caps when they do concerts. Left head is played with a short stick, thick wooden stick. This is a picture of dolu. And now let us move to another form, that is sitar. Sitar instrument is derived from ancient veena and modified by a Mughal court musician. This is a picture of sitar. The word sitar originated from Sanskrit and it is also called as Saptatantri Veena. Sitar has 18 to 21 strings to play musical notes. It is made up of teak wood and calabash gourds for the chamber and the bridges of sitar made of deer horn. Pandit Ravi Shankar has popularized the sitar in the worldwide. And now let us move into another instrument, that is sarangi. Sarangi is a short necked stringed instrument from India and Nepal and accompanied to all vocal concerts. This is a picture of sarangi. It has box shape with 2 hollow chambers and resonance chamber made of goat skin and back of chamber is made of buffalo or camel bone. And the strings are made of brass and steel. The neck of sarangi has ivory platform to play the notes and the number of strings can be 35 or more. And now let us move to some particulars about harmonium. Harmonium is called as a pump organ and it is a free reed organ. It is widely used in North Indian concerts as best accompanying instruments for vocal of Hindustani music and folk music. This is a picture of harmonium. It is used to different pitches to produce musical notes. There are 2 kinds of harmonium, that is foot pumped and hand pumped harmonium. The piece of metal is called reed. It produces a sound by pumping air through it and it is widely used in Hindustani, Carnatic music, Western music in worldwide. Now let us move to another musical instrument of North India and it is bansuri. Bansuri is a side blown wind instrument and it is played in India and also Nepal. It is widely used in Hindustani music concerts. It has 6 hole instrument covering 2.5 octaves. It is made of bamboo, fiber and also with ivory. 6-hole instrument covers 2.5 octaves and 7 holes produces 3 octaves in the music, and it is made of bamboo, fiber and ivory. You can see the bansuri picture here. Now let us move one more instrument particulars about santoor. Santoor is a stringed instrument. It is made of walnut with 100 strings. It is a national music instrument of Iran. You can see the picture of santoor here. It is also called as 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧 and it is the original name of santoor in Sanskrit. It is a hollow box on top with 25 bridges, and each bridge has 4 strings to produce swaras. 2 wooden mallets used to play the instrument, and it is widely used in valley of Kashmir for centuries to propagate Sufi music. And now let us move to another instrument particulars, that is pakwas. Pakwas is North Indian version of mridangam of South India. It looks like the shape resembling the mridangam of South India. It is a barrel shaped with 2-headed drum, standard percussion in 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 style. You can see the picture here. It is used in music and dance performances of Hindustani music. Its right head is similar to tabla. It is also called as mardal or mardala in North India. And now let us move to another percussion instrument of North India, that is tabla. Tabla is a South Asian percussion instrument. It consists 2 pair of drums to play the bowls. And you can see the picture of tabla here. Tabla is used in traditional classical and folk music of North India, and it is widely used in North, South India, Pakistan and also Bangladesh. It is the most important percussion instrument in Hindustani vocal and also instrument music in North and also for fusion concerts too. Tabla is made with copper, clay and wood. All kinds of regular and rare talas can be played on this instrument. South Indian composer, that is Narayana Tirtha. Narayana Tirtha period was from 1610 to 1745 AD. He was born in Guntur district in Andhra Pradesh and he popularized tarangas. His birth name was Govinda Shastrulu, and he was a great scholar in music, Sanskrit and also in dance, Kuchipudi style. He was the author of Sanskrit opera, that is Sri Krishna Leela Tarangini. It contains many tarangas which can be used in musical concerts and also Kuchipudi dance concerts. The songs written were known as tarangas. These tarangas, it contains some shlokas and 𝗹𝗶𝗍s with it. These songs describes Krishna's birth, childhood and Kalyanam with Rukmini. This Tarangini opera highly suitable for dance dramas. It consists of 12 tarangams into 153 songs and also 302 shlokams and 31 churnikas. These tarangas, some of the famous tarangas are Bruhi Mukundeti, Madhava Mamava and 𝗂𝗽𝗱𝗁. I just want to show some example by singing these tarangas. Bruhi Mukundeti he rasane 𝗂𝗽 Mukundeti rasane. This is the first pallavi of the tarangam, and for the next charanam, Radha Ramana Hare Rameti, Radha Ramana Hare Rameti, Krishnananda Sadanandeti, Krishnananda Sadanandeti, Bruhi Mukundeti he rasane 𝗂𝗽 पाहि मुकुन्देति रसने ब्रूहि मुकुन्देति. This is set to Kuranji Raga Aditala, and this is Bruhi Mukundeti. And next popular one is Taranga, that is Madhava Mamava in Nilambari Raga Aditala, and Pahi Pahi. This Taranga is tuned to Kedara Raga Aditala. And now let us move some particulars about Shyama Shastri. Shyama Shastri is oldest among the musical trinity in South India. The musical trinity are Sri Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar and Shyama Shastri. Shyama Shastri is the oldest among the musical trinity. He was born to Vishwanadayya and Vengalakshmi in 1762. This is a picture of Sri Shyama Shastri. He composed around 300 kritis. His compositions are a perfect blend of Manodharma Sangeeta, Manodharma Bhava and Bhakti Bhava. Shyama Shastri composed kritis in Telugu and Sanskrit language, and he composed kritis, Varnas, Swarajatis. Swarajatis was not composed by other musical trinity, but the Shyama Shastri has composed even Swarajatis, and known for his ability to compose most complex talas, that is Triputa Talam, Chaukakala Aditalam and Mishra Chapu Talam. He was known as a Tala Prastara Shyama Shastri in those period, and he composed in rare ragas, and his favorite raga was Ananda Bhairavi. In Ananda Bhairavi he composed Pahi Sri Giriraja Sute Karuna Sahite. This is some first line of this Ananda Bhairavi Raga Kirtana of Shyama Shastri. And some of his famous compositions are Shankara Shankaru, Kanaka Shaila, Mayamma, Mariveri Gati, one more Kirtana in Ananda Bhairavi Raga, Pahisri Kirtana in Ananda Bhairavi Raga, and Saroja Dalanetri in Shankarabharana Raga. His compositions are very tough for the singers to practice and sing in the concerts. For example, I want to sing Saroja Dalanetri one line. Saroja Dalanetri Himagiri Putri Ni Padambujamule Sada Nammina Namma Shubhamimma Meenakshamma. If you observe in this Kirtana, there are a lot of gamakas in the medium tempo, in the speed tempo and also in the slower tempo. Mainly Shyama Shastri composed all the kritis in very difficult talas and difficult tunes, combining all the variety of gamakas in South Indian classical music. And now let us move to some particulars about Kshetraya. Kshetraya belongs to 1600 to 1680. He is a famous Telugu poet and composer of Carnatic music. He was born in Andhra Pradesh in Muvva district. He created perfect format of Padam singing style. You can see the picture of Kshetraya here. Kshetraya style of poetry was a colloquial. His Padams are mainly performed in music and also widely used in Kuchipudi dance, as he was a dancer too in those days. An example of Kshetriya Padam is Yovadenu Pavvalinchinaveela. This is composed in Shankarabharana Ragam, Mishra Chapu Tala, and mainly these Padams composed by Kshetraya are very slow in tempo, and it is very suitable for Kuchipudi or Bharatanatyam dancers to express their bhavas in the dance by using these padams in their dance concerts. And now let us move some particulars about Swati Tirunal. Swati Tirunal belongs to 1813 to 1846. He belongs to royal dynasty of Travancore of South India. He composed 400 compositions in Carnatic music and also in Hindustani music. You can see the picture of Swati Tirunal here, and he has done a lot of service to the society. He introduced English education and installation of first government printing press in those days. and he establishment of one manuscripts library in those days, and he is a master of almost 8 languages. He started Maharaja's government free school, and now it is established as even university too. His famous compositions are 𝗹𝗶𝗫𝗀 𝗂𝗽𝗧 in Mayamalavagowla Ragam Aditalam, 𝗧𝗦𝗃 that is composed in Hindustani style and it is composed in Hamsanadam Ragam, and Bhavayami, this is a Ragamalika sung by M.S. Subbulakshmi Madam, and 𝗧-𝗦𝗃𝗧 in Pantvarali Raga Aditala. I just want to sing one composition of Swati Tirunal as an example, that is Shankara Srigiri in Hindustani style. Shankara Srigiri नाद प्रभु के नृत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के नृत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु. So this is a composition of Sri Swati Tirunal, and it is composed in Hindustani music. And now let us move to some particulars of 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗧. 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗧 belongs to 1877 to 1945. He is a Carnatic music's famous 20th century composer, and he has created almost 20 new ragas in South Indian classical music, and this is a picture of Sri 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗧. He composed even western notes in those days. He learned some western music and also he adapted that notes into classical style in South India. He composed 63 songs for Tamil films in those days, and he is master of Chitraveena and Mridangam also. He is the first musician awarded doctorate from Kerala University in those days, and he was a court musician in Mysore. And some of his famous compositions are Mate Malaya Dhwaja, that is in Khamas Raga Aditala, and Ambavani Nannadarimpave, that kriti is composed to Keeravani Raga Aditala, and Gam Ganapate, this is the first kirtana composed by him in Hamsadhvani Raga Rupakatala, and Himagiri Tanaye, this is composed to Aditala, and Sudhamayi, it is a very popular kirtana composed by 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗧. It is composed in Amrutavarshini Raga Rupakatala. I just want to sing one pallavi of this composition, Sudhamayi Sudhanidhi. Sudhamayi Sudhanidhi Sumasare Kshukodanda Sudhamayi Sudhanidhi. This is some pallavi of Sudhamayi Kirtana composed by Sri 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗧𝗧. Till now you have known some particulars of composers of South India, that is 𝗧𝗦𝗧 𝗧𝗧, Swati Tirunal, Shyama Shastri. As a part of chapter of music composers, today let us know some details about Sri Sant Haridas. Haridas is the founder of Haridasi school in North India. He composed many prabandhas, tiruvats, ragamalas in Hindustani music. He composed around 128 compositions in Hindustani, and you can see the picture over here. He belongs to 1515 to 1575. He is a spiritual poet and classical musician in Hindustani music. He composed devotional songs in very critical Hindustani music style, that is Dhrupad style. Dhrupad is a critical tala form of Hindustani music, and he composed many devotionals in this typical Dhrupad style of singing in Hindustani music. And Tansen was one of his disciple. He belongs to tradition of Madhura Bhakti. And now let us move to some particulars about Tansen. He belongs to 1493 to 1586. Tansen is a composer, and he is a musician and also a famous vocalist in Hindustani classical music. He is popular for his epic 𝗧𝗧 compositions. He learned this 𝗧𝗧 compositions from his guru Haridas. You can see the Tansen picture here. Tansen was one of Navaratnas in Akbar court. His music compositions were written in Brij Bhasha. He composed several basic foundation ragas such as Bhairav, Darbar Todi, Darbar Kannada, Malhar, Sarangi and Rageshwari. I just want to show some examples of these ragas by singing some compositions. In our Carnatic style Darbari Kannada, we have a composition like this. Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Palaka Paramananda Govardhana Giridhara. You can see this Darbari Kannada in Carnatic music style too. So Tansen is the creator of this raga. So he created Bhairav, Darbari Todi, Darbari Kannada, Malhar, Sarangi and Rageshwari raga in Hindustani classical music. And now let us move to some particulars about Bhakta Tukaram. Tukaram belongs to 1598 to 1650. He was a poet saint of Bhakti movement in Maharashtra. He is well known for his Abhang compositions, and you can see the picture of Tukaram. He popularized Bhakti movement through his bhajan singing, including all group singing members, and that compositions are known as Abhangs, and the language of Abhangs is in Marathi. I just want to show some example of this Abhang. Eyo Vitthale Bhakta Janavatsale Eyo Vitthale Bhakta Janavatsale Karuna Kallole Pandurange Pandurange Bhakta Janavatsale. So this is one of the example of Abhang. It is composed in Marathi language by Sri Bhakta Tukaram. And now let us move to one more composer of South India, and that is 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. You can see the picture of 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 here. Sri 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 belongs to 18th century. He composed many Carnatic music compositions to spread Advaita in Bhakti movement. Some of his famous compositions are Gayati Vanamali, Sarvam Brahmamayam, Pibare Ramarasam, Bhajare Gopalam in Hindola Raga and Manasa Sancharare in Samaraga. I just want to sing some example of these compositions. That is Sarvam Brahmamayam. It is composed in Hindustani Madhvanti Raga in Aditala. Sarvam Brahmamayam Re Re Sarvam Brahmamayam. This is a Pallavi of Sarvam Brahmamayam. And Pibare Ramarasam, it is a well known composition in South India, and that is composed by Sri 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. And now let us move to some particulars about 𝗬𝗧 𝗚𝗪𝒻𝗻. He belongs to Bhadrachalam in Telangana region, and he belongs to 1790 to 1833 period. He is a saint and a music composer. He travelled across Indian subcontinent to spread Bhakti cult. He belongs to poet musicians, that is Annamaya Ramadasu. He created many kirtanas in this format, and some of his popular compositions are Kalado Ledo Sriramudu and Chudagalgenu and Doravale Kurchunnadu. These are the bhajan sampradaya of his compositions. After Ramadasa, 𝗬𝗧 𝗪𝒻𝗻 is the popular composer in Telangana region. He composed many songs on Lord Rama. And now next let us move to some particulars about one more famous composer of North India, and that is Mirabai. Mirabai belongs to 1498 to 1546 period. She is a Hindu poet and devotee of Krishna. She was born in Rajput's family. You can see the picture of Mirabai here. Mirabai's poems are lyrical padas. Her compositions filled with love for God, courage, faith and also devotion for music and love. Some of famous compositions of Mirabai are 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 in Pilu Raga Aditala, 𝗧𝗦𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗚𝗏 and 𝗑𝗨𝗠 मैंने राम लखन. This is a popular Meera bhajan. I just want to show some example of this bhajan. 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 in Pilu Raga Aditala. It is popularized by Srimati M.S. Subbulakshmi in South India. 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 बांध मीरा नाची रे, 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 बांध मीरा नाची रे, 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 रे, 𝗑𝗃 𝗃𝗃 re. So all these Meera bhajans, not only in South Indian Hindustani music, even North and South, both regions musicians have adopted these Meera bhajans into their concerts for singing. And now let us move to one more composer of North India, and that is 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. You can see the picture of 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 here. 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 belongs to 1532 to 1623 period. He was a saint, poet and a reformer and also a philosopher, and he is the main author of epic 𝗬𝗏𝗺. He composed poetry in Sanskrit and original composer of Ramayana in Sanskrit too. Some of his famous compositions of 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 are 𝗧-𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗚𝗏𝗺. It is a bhajan composed to Yaman Kalyani Raga Mishra Chapu Tala and can be seen in many concerts singing. And one of his most popular is Hanuman Chalisa, that also been composed by Sri 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. I just want to show one bhajan of this 𝗬𝗏𝗺, and that is Sri Ramachandra Kripal. Sri Ramachandra Kripal bhaj man हरण भाव भय दारुणम, श्री राम श्री राम. This is the first line of this Sri Ramachandra Kripal bhajan composed in Yaman Kalyani Raga. And now let us move to some more particulars about one more composer of North India, and that is Kabir. He is called as Sant Kabir, and he belongs to 1440 to 1580 period. Kabir is an Indian poet and also a saint. He got the title Saint Kabir or Sant Kabir. His dohas influenced Bhakti movement. All his compositions were known as Kabir dohas, and you can see the picture of Sant Kabir here. He was the first Indian saint to coordinate both Hinduism and Islam through his compositions dohas. He wrote all poems and songs in several languages. His all poems known as dohas, saloka and sakhi, and the chapter is Manodharma Sangeeta of South Indian classical Carnatic music. Manodharma Sangeeta in Carnatic music is the distinctive feature of Indian music, and it is a free kind of free flow music in South India. It is improvised music, and Manodharma Sangeeta prevails in Hindustani and also Carnatic music in the both forms. Manodharma Sangeeta and Kalpita Sangeeta are the two divisions of all music systems. In Manodharma Sangeeta, it is a free flow of Alapana, Swarakalpana, Niraval, that is sung by many musicians on their own. And Kalpita Sangeeta, these are all the two divisions of all music systems. And Kalpita Sangeeta includes the compositions already previously composed and memorized, practiced and performed in any music system. So, if we see an example of Manodharma Sangeeta, it comes under Raga Lapana, Swarakalpana, Niraval and Ragantanam Pallavi, and Kalpita Sangeeta is reference about kritis, kirtanas, javalis, padams and many more compositions which does not have Swarakalpanas and Ragalapanas. Manodharma Sangeeta is a creative music that is created by a musician. He has to follow some structure of alapana already pro forma in their music and he has to sing it on his own. While Kalpita Sangita is recitative or repetitive music. The divisions of Manodharma Sangita in Carnatic music has got 5 mainly divisions. It is first chapter is Raga Lapana and the second point is Madhyama Kala and it is also called as Tanam. So first one is Raga Lapana, the second one is Tanam and the third part of Manodharma Sangita in Carnatic music is Pallavi. And the music has got 5 divisions, that is the fourth part is Niraval, the fifth one of Manodharma Sangita is Kalpana Swara. So in Manodharma Sangita of South Indian classical music, Raga Lapana has a main important role and Raga Lapana is sung for before singing Kirtana and also before singing of Ragam Tanam Pallavi section. And Raga Lapana is unmeasured music and it is composed without strict rhythm. If you observe in Kirtanas, Javalis, Tillanas and other rhythmic compositions, that are all bounded to particular rhythm in Tala. It is in Adi Tala, either it is composed to Adi Tala, Rupaka Tala, Mr. Chapu and Khanda Chapu and many more Talas. So all the compositions based on rhythmic style are known as Kirtanas and particularly Raga Lapana has no rhythmic measure in its content. Madhyama Kala or Tanam is the Alapana in Madhyama Kala or medium speed. And next Ragam Tanam Pallavi is an item of a Carnatic music concert in which a Raga Lapana is elaborately sung in different ways. The Alapana contains 3 categories and that is through Raga Lapana, Tanam and Pallavi, a person well equipped with years of thorough practice and a good deal of Manodharma can have a mastery on this part of Manodharma Sangita. He has to practice Alapana without the rhythm and Tanam with some of the rhythmatic features, and in Pallavi it is composed to different and typical talas of Carnatic music. The Raga Lapana was traditionally done with the use of auspicious words and that are Anandam, Ananta and Tanam. These are the words used for singing Alapana in Carnatic music. The Raga Lapana is mainly divided into 2 divisions. That is first one is Sangraha Alapana and the second one is Sampurna Alapana. And the usage of this Ananta, Tanam, Tadarinatom, these are the words used to sing Raga Lapana. I just wanted to show some examples of this Alapana style in Carnatic Manodharma Sangita style. I am going to show Chakravaka Raga Lapana, how it is sung. Tadarina na na So this is somewhat example of Chakravaka Raga Lapana. If you observe the Raga Lapana method, there are some main positions of Raga Lapana to be sung in the concert, and this Raga Lapana covers the 3 sthayis, that is 3 octaves, that is Mandra Sthai, Madhya Sthai and Tara Sthai. In olden days, the musicians and scholars of musicology, they used to cover all the octaves, that is all the sthayis of Carnatic music in the Alapana singing. And in Carnatic style, this Alapana can be sung in 3 octaves, that is Mandara Sthai, that is below the Adhara Shadjama, that is Sarigama Magapa Magari Sani. These are the swaras just I sung for the example. And after the completion of this Mandara Sthai, you have to sing some sancharas in Alapana in Madhya Sthai, that is covering from Sa, Pa and Sa. So that is like Pa Padanida Padani sa ni re sa ni da padani ni da pa ma. This is a swaram I have sung for the Alapana, for the reference of Alapana. So this is the second point where we have to complete the Madhya Sthai And in the third stage we have to cover the full sthai of Tara sthai, that is sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa, that is this is the upper sthai swaras. So in this way alapana can be sung in different stages, that is 3 stages with all the full of gamakas, variations, slow and speed tempo without the rhythmic factors. So now let us move to some divisions of raga alapana, and that is first one is sangraha alapana and the second one is sampurna alapana. In sangraha alapana it is attempted as a prelude to a kriti in madhyama kala, that is when you sing a kriti before a concert, to get a mood into the raga you have to sing some alapana bits, that is not a detailed alapana, only sangraha alapana. Sangraha means we have to collect some points, main points of alapana from our gurus, teachers, or with some recordings. We have to collect some points, key points of the alapana, and we have to involve that gamakas and that raga chaya into the alapana, and that is known as sangraha alapana. And it is covered the entire range of 3 octaves, as I mentioned before. Raga alapana, sangraha alapana should cover all the 3 octaves, 3 sthais, that is mandra sthai, madhya sthai and tara sthai. And whereas in sampurna alapana the beauties of a raga are presented in a detailed and elaborate manner, that is sangraha alapana can be sung for 2 to 3 minutes, and this sampurna alapana can be sung in main concerts, that is if you want to sing for a concert about if you say for 2 to 3 hours in a radio station or in Doordarshan or any channels or in public programs, concerts, you have to plan the raga lapana, that is sampurna raga lapana, about 20 minutes. 20 minutes it covers a detailed establishment of raga lapana, and that involves all kinds of gamakas and elaborate manner. So this is called as sampurna alapana. The raga lapana in a ragam tanam pallavi is a sampurna alapana. As I mentioned before, when you want to sing a ragam tanam pallavi section in the concerts, it is a main part of a program. Before singing tanam and pallavi, first of all you have to enter into raga lapana chapter, and this raga lapana for ragam tanam pallavi should be very detailed, and it is called as sampurna raga alapana. Sampurna alapana is rendered before a chaukakala kriti, that is called as vilambakala kriti in a major raga. So majorly all the sampurna ragas, that is Chakravakam, Maya Malavagola, Mecha Kalyani, Dhira Shankarabharanam, Dharmavati, Hemavati, and many more ragas that are composed in 72 Melakarta ragas by Venkatamukhi, that you can compose all these main ragas that are called as major ragas. You can select this sampurna raga lapana before singing a kriti that is composed in vilambakala and chaukakala. And mainly rare ragas like sampurna ragas like Kalyani, Todi, Kambhoji, Shankarabharanam are the finest instances of these major ragas. And the small ragas that are called as Janya ragas for the Janaka ragas, that are like Punnagavarali, Ahiri, Ghanta are some of the minor ragas. I just want to show some examples of these major and minor ragas in alapana method. Kalyani. This is Kalyani. And Kambhoji, when you go to Kambhoji, tadana tadana this is Kambhoji alapana. These are called as Kalyani and Kambhoji. These ragas are called as major ragas. In 72 Melakarta ragas called as major ragas. And the smaller ragas that are called as Janya ragas, they are Punnagavarali, Ahiri, Ghanta. These are called as minor ragas for alapana section. The alapana of a raga consists of 3 main stages. That is, the first stage is called as akshiptika, and it is the introduction part of raga alapana, where the alapana starts at adhara shadjamam and covering all the notes below the adhara shadjamam, and it is called as the introduction part, that is akshiptika part of raga alapana, first part of raga alapana. And the second part of Raga Lapana in Manodharma Sangeeta, that is called as Ragavardhini, or it is also called as the body of the Alapana, because it has many gamakas and many variations covering all the sthayis, that is from Mandara sthai to Madhya sthai, from Madhya sthai षड्जमam to Tara sthai षड्जमam, covering Pa, Da, Ni and Riga, all the swaras in the mentioned raga. And the third one, Sthai and Makarini, it constitutes the conclusion part. It is also called as conclusion part for the Raga Lapana session. We can conclude this session of Raga Lapana in the third stage by covering all the octaves with the speed gamakas, with slow gamakas, and also covering all octaves. So, the third point of this Raga Lapana is the concluding part, that is called as a Sthai or Makarini. And now let us go to one more part of the Manodharma Sangeeta in Carnatic music style, and that is called as Tanam. Tanam is another important aspect of Ragantana Pallavi, and it is also called as Tanam, that is composed to Madhyama Kala speed, and it is also called as Madhyama Kala. And this Tanam is really singing like Alapana in a mentioned tempo, that is in medium tempo with perceptible rhythm. The rhythmical flow of Tanam is very fascinating because it does not have a particular tala, that is Adi tala, Rupaka tala, Champe tala, Triputa tala and Khanda Chapu tala. It is just sung as a melody part after the Raga Lapana. It covers Alapana in it. It is actually singing of a raga in Madhyama Kala, that is medium tempo, using the syllables Ta, Nam, Ta or Nam, that is Tadarina Tom, Tanam. It is a systematic way of singing Tanam. And it is also known as Madhyama Kala Gana because it does not cover third speed and first speed. It is sung, the Tanam is sung in only Madhyama Kala. So, it is known as Madhyama Kala Gana. So, I just want to show some example of singing of Tana method. Anam tanam anam tattanam anam tattanam anam tattanam. So, this is a kind of singing of Tana. It is regularly practiced by vocalists and also veena, violin and other stringed instruments, and also by flutist. This Tanam helps to learn the details of raga in brief. And next the next part of the Manodharma Sangeeta, third part of this Sangeeta is called as Pallavi. Pallavi is a branch of Manodharma Sangeeta through which a performer's mastery over rhythm and his creative talent is revealed here. Pallavi is measured with music. The term Pallavi includes 3 words, that is first Padam, that are words, Layam, Layam means time of the tala, and Vinyasam, Vinyasam means variations of gamakas or vinyasas. A Pallavi can be made in any raga and tala. Actually, a Pallavi can be taken of a lyrics about one line, which can be suitable for an avartam. When you select a Pallavi, you have to bound to some tala. For instance, if you take a Adi tala, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, if you want to select a lyrics for a Pallavi in Adi tala, you have to sing like Varna method, that is double beat you have to put for the tala, that is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. In this way, whatever tala you select for singing Pallavi, you have to make it in Chauka Kala, and that is also called as Vilambita. So, Pallavi has to set to Chauka Kala in Adi Tala, in Misra Chapu Tala, and many more typical and critical talas. So, there is no boundary that you have to sing only for a mentioned tala or mentioned raga. You can make a raga malika, that is you start a Pallavi in one raga and you can sing that Pallavi in many more ragas covering all the other ragas. In the ending, you have to come to the original first raga. And in the same way, when you sing a Tala Malika, if you start with the example, if you start with a Adi Tala, Pallavi, then it can go to Trishra Nadai, Khanda Nada, Mishra Nada, Sankirna, showing all these jatis and nadas. Again you have to come to the original point of tala in Pallavi. So Pallavi can be sung in any raga and tala. And a Pallavi is a part of Manodharma Sangeeta in which a particular theme is expressed through raga and tala. The words of a Pallavi may be either on a sacred or secular theme and can be in any language. There is no boundary for this poetry. Prathamanga and Dvitiyanga are the two parts of a Pallavi, and the dividing point is called Padagarbham or Arudhi. I just want to explain these themes of Prathamanga and Dvitiyanga. Prathamanga is the first speed that is taken in the first part of singing of Pallavi, and Dvitiyanga is Niraval, Swarakalpana and Padagarbham. Padagarbham means you have to make all the three speeds, first speed, second and third speed of Pallavi singing. Again after showing the Trishram you have to come again to Padagarbham. At this point there is a period of rest or Vishranti. The two parts may be of equal length. I just want to show some example of this Pallavi, one line. You can observe the starting part and the last part in between, it is called as Padagarbham, that divides the two lines of the Avartam. Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi ne padeda sarigama padalaya vinyasame Pallavi. In this Pallavi, if you observe the lyrics, it starts after a beat. That is the starting point of Pallavi. Padalaya vinyasame Palla. Till this Palla lyrics, you are splitting the half avartam of Aditala. Pallavi. After the Dhrutam comes, it divides the whole avartam. This dividing point is called as Arudhi or Padagarbham for a Pallavi. So at this point there is a period of rest here. The two parts of may be of equal length divided. A Pallavi singing has different stages like Anuloma, Pratiloma. Anuloma, Pratiloma means it can be started over before the Avartam, that is at the before the starting point of Avartam, Anuloma, that after the Talam also you can start the Pallavi. And Niraval and Kalpana Swaras are also included in Raga Malika Swaras. In Pallavi, it is a chance for musicians, there is a chance to present the Pallavi along with Swarakalpana and Niraval, and that also in many ragas, that is called as Raga Malika Swaras. Anuloma consists in keeping the Tala constant and singing the Pallavi at double and quadruple speeds. So the Tala remains the same, but the song increases the speed, that is Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi. In this, if you observe, only Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi, we are showing the same Tala continuation with increasing of Sahitya speed in the Tala. So this is called as Anuloma. The Pallavi music will be heard twice and 4 times respectively with the space of the original period of duration. That is, if you make a first speed and third speed of this medium Pallavi, it comes like this. The medium speed is Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi ne padeda sarigama. As I mentioned, it has to be sung in the third speed 4 times. Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi ne padeda sarigama Padalaya vinyasame Pallavi ne padeda sarigama. In this way, the third speed has to be sung in the Pallavi for about 4 times. The medium speed can be sung in 1 time and the third speed can be sung in 4 times. Pratiloma consists in keeping the speed of singing constant, but re-knocking of Tala with the hand at double and quadruple speeds. This is called Pratiloma. In this part, the thala is re-knocked twice and 4 times respectively within the space of the original period of duration. Now we are going to the part of another part of Manodharma Sangeeta in Carnatic music, that is the Niraval. The presentation of a Pallavi with its Sangatis in variations or variations on the musical theme is called Niraval. For instance, if you take a Pallavi of any Kriti, that is the starting line of a Pallavi, and you can elaborate that lyrics with musical elements bounded to Tala, and also you can include many Gamakas, and that part is called as Niraval. Niraval can be sung in different speeds. In the first speed, starting from the first speed, it can cover second and third speed, again it has to come to the original first speed. This kind of singing for Pallavi is called as Niraval.